Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to Wild Flow. I'm your host, Sydney Rose. I'm here to lead you through your hour practice today. Today, our theme is going to be We Want More. Now, what is it that we want more of? I know for me personally, I want more of less. How do I say that? Okay, so I don't want more of less, but I want more things like time, stillness, good food, connection with friends and family. And how do we get more of these kind of things? I know this is where it circles back for me to the wanting less. I want less stress, less worry. So I follow some minimalists, as well as Joshua Becker. And Joshua Becker says, when you own less stuff, you find more money, you find more freedom, and less stress and less worry. What if the life you have always wanted to build is under everything you own? So I wonder, even though our theme today is we want more, I challenge you to really think about what it is you really want more of. Is it that you want more money, or is it that you want more freedom? So what if owning less or needing less actually gives us more? So with that in mind, let's add in more movement with our practice and get started. If you're following along with our playlist today, we will be working with Wild Flow 14, We Want More. So you can move your fleshy bits out of the way, sit up nice and tall, roll your shoulders back and down your spine, pull in your floating ribs, press the crown of your head up towards the sky. Gently close down your eyes or leave them open so that you can press play now. So closing down your eyes, maybe even curling your lips into a gentle smile. Begin to connect with your breath here. Inhaling through your nose, filling your belly, filling your ribs, and filling your chest. And then exhaling from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. And we'll change that order up a little bit, this time inhaling into our upper chest, then filling our ribs, then pulling air down into our belly. And then we'll exhale from our belly, from our ribs, and from our chest. We'll keep breathing this way like we're unzipping a zipper, so from the top to the bottom, and exhaling from the bottom to the top, as we gently begin to introduce movement into our body, maybe swaying side to side, maybe moving our chest around in a circle around our sit bones, maybe rocking forward and back, or jiving it out side to side. Either way, just allow yourself to flow through some movement as you're working with your breath. Inhaling, filling your chest, filling your ribs, and filling your belly. And then exhaling from your belly, from your chest, ribs, and from your chest. So flowing here, letting whatever's happening around you happen around you. That's the beauty of drop-in yoga, or like these on-demand yogas, is that we can do it anytime, anywhere. So just let what's happening happen. Let the sounds, sights, and feelings, or sounds and feelings and smells happen. Just let yourself get into your body by moving your body around. Keeping your breath going. Working out any yawns or tiredness in your belly. Or your body, your belly. Maybe you have a tired belly and you need to wake it up. So finding circles in your movement. Seeing how many spaces you can draw, how many spaces of your body you can draw a circle in. Maybe it's with your right rib. Maybe it's with your left ribs. Maybe it's with both ribs in the center, or all your ribs. Maybe it's with your shoulders, rolling them around. Maybe it's with your head, working it around in a circle. So just exploring your body's ability to move while seated here as you make circles and draw figure eights with your body, swaying around, exploring movement, letting the music move you. And if you're not following along with music, Just letting your intuition move you. Let your body move. I always say there's no wrong way to drop into your body. So whatever feels good for you to get you into this practice of being ready to move and wiggle. Maybe that is sitting still, and that's also okay. I like to move, so I'm going to move. Making circles with the body. I think Yogi's coughing over there. You okay, Yogi? So letting what happens as you move yourself around. Slowly beginning to bring your movement to completion. Getting all of the yawns out. And bringing that movement back to stillness. Sitting up nice and tall. Just feeling the hum of aliveness that's happening in your body now. After that little bit of movement. And then all together we'll tuck our chin in towards our chest, getting a nice stretch to the back of the neck. And then gently start rocking our head side to side, pulling our ear over to our shoulders, side to side. And then we'll lift our gaze up, looking up to the sky, lifting the chin, opening through the throat. And then we'll exhale, chin down to the chest, rounding the spine. And then we'll inhale, leading with the chin, lifting through the chest, opening through the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades, looking up, rounding the spine back, forward. And then exhale, rounding the spine. So thinking cat-cow with your spine here as you tuck your chin and lift your chin to open, reaching up to the sky with your chin. And then exhale, rounding the spine. So it is quite exaggerated here. We're rounding our spine back. And then we're inhale, lifting our spine up and forward. And then coming back to center, we'll drop our right ear to our right shoulder. Left hand reaches for the ground. Right hand comes up, touches our ear on the left side. Pulls our head down toward our shoulder. So a nice stretch through the left side of the neck, reaching our hands down to the floor. Little tiny pulses here, stretching. Keep breathing. And then we'll look down towards our armpit, so gazing down towards the floor, pulling a little bit farther to the back of the head, pulling the neck nice and long. And we'll inhale, release that, switching sides, so right hand to the mat, left ear, left shoulder, left hand up and over behind the right ear, gentle pull here. Keep breathing, little tiny pulses, just going to the fullest expression of the stretch. And then turning our gaze down towards the floor, pulling our chin down towards our armpit, nice stretch through the back of the right side of the neck. And then we'll release that, reaching our hands, thumbs interlace up towards the ceiling. Little pulses through the chest, lifting and lowering here. Keep breathing. Squeezing those shoulder blades together to lift the chest up. And then we'll release our right arm down, elbow to the floor, left hand comes up and over, reaching to the right side. Big stretch here, keeping that left sit bone grounded to the mat. Big backstroke circles happening in the shoulder of the left arm. So big backward circles here. Gaze can be down at the floor, out in front, or up at the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. That left hand cartwheels over to the left side, elbow to the floor, right hand up and over, stretching over to the other side. And then big backstroke circles with the right arm. 3, 2, 1. Both hands come up to the sky, reaching up, looking up between the hands, palms towards one another, pressing the palms almost together, keeping them stretched, holding an invisible ball here. We'll inhale, lift up. Exhale, throw that ball down to the right. And we'll inhale, come up. Exhale, throw it down to the left. Bring it up. Exhale to the right. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Inhale up. Exhale right. And back up. Left and up. One more time each side. Right and left. Bring it up. And then exhale, arms come down wide to the side, moving nice and slow all the way to the ground, coming forward, sitting on our knees. We're going to take our right hand and pin the back of our hand to the mat with our left fist. We're going to take our elbow and rotate it in and out. So our right hand is pinned to the ground with our left fist, with the back of the hand on the mat. We're rotating the elbow in and outwards, warming up through our wrists, moving through our range of motion of our wrists here by turning our elbow around, getting a nice stretch through that forearm, and then switch sides. So back of the left hand to the mat, pin it down with the right fist, elbow turns in and out. And then we'll release those hands, hovering our spine, hovering our hips, so our back is parallel to the floor. Our heart is over our knees, our arms are out to the side, and with little pulses lift and lowering through the chest, tapping one hand at a time into center. So lifting and lowering, bringing one hand at a time. So we're almost doing little sit-ups with our back here. So our back is straight. And we're pulling one hand at a time into center, tiny pulses, bringing a hand in every second pulse. Activating through our core of our back, little pulses. It doesn't take a lot to turn it on here. I guess our back is more 45 degrees to the ground than it is parallel. Toes are turned under for stability. Tiny little pulses happening here. Keep it going. Keep it going. Squeezing the thighs actively together as you pull them apart. Keeping them, your knees hip-width distance. Little pulses. And then we'll reach both hands out wide to the side and shimmy side to side. So moving the arms parallel to the floor, side to side. Moving from the hips. And then we'll reach as far over to the right as we can. Lower that right arm down. Left arm comes all the way up above the head. And then bring it back to center. Sliding over all the way to the left. Left arm down. Bringing the right arm back and up. And then back to center. Sliding over to the right. Then bending into the right side of your body. Reaching that right hand towards the back foot. And then left hand comes up into the air. And then bring it back to center, hinging up towards the left, reaching the left hand back for the left foot. Right arm comes up into the air, and again, side to side. So coming into this airplane, right hand to the right foot, left arm comes out in front and up towards the sky. Back to center, left hand, left foot, right arm back and up, and back to center. We'll bring our hands down underneath of our shoulders. Coming into a tabletop, we'll flip our toes, walk our knees in a little bit closer than our belly button or underneath of our belly button. Flipping our toes, we'll lift our knees up, little pulses here. So tiny little pulses lifting and lowering through the knees. Keep breathing. Turning it on the lower body. And then we'll in and out with our knees. So wide knees. Knees come in and out, so only lifting a little bit up off of the mat. Not a lot, it doesn't take a lot. Opening and closing through the knees here. Keep it going. And then we'll lower our knees wide, toes point, hips come back, Arms walk forward for a child's pose. Couple breaths here. We'll plant our hands into the top of our mat and then lift our hips up. So walking our knees back so that our knees come underneath of our hips. Hips are high. Chest is melting down towards the mat. And we'll start shifting our chest side to side. So just little shifts. Pressing one armpit at a time towards the mat. And then pressing both armpits. Little pulses here. Press down. And then we'll plant through our hands, lift our hips up high, or lift our chest up high, transfer forward, bending down into the elbows, coming onto the belly, lifting one leg at a time, getting those fleshy bits out of the way. We'll reach our hands back, interlace our fingers behind our back, press them down towards the bum, keeping the chest lifted, looking forward. Little pulses here, so pressing into the belly to lift and lower the body. Keep breathing. And then we'll unlace our hands, put them down on our mat, palms down towards the ground, rocking side to side, putting our hands underneath of our bellies, underneath of our legs. Big breath, lifting up through the feet, little pulses. So both legs lift and lower, pulsing here, lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Hands come underneath of the shoulders, pressing up, flipping the toes, hips come high, downward facing dog. Bending into opposite knee, crossing the body with your knee, really wiggling out your down dog here. And then we'll ground down through our heels, bring in those jiggles for our jiggly bits. So grounding down, planting heel, 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 getting the booty shaking. Shaking it out, shaking it out, shaking it out. And we'll keep those jiggles going as we start to hop our feet up towards our hands, stopping at the center of our mat. We'll plant down through our heels, bend our knees deeply. Lift our chest up, hands come on top of the knees. Chest is lifted 45 degrees to the floor, so we're in a supported chair. Tuck those tailbones under, getting nice and strong here, and we'll start circling through the chest. So hands are on the knees. And we'll change direction here. So barreling out through the torso, big circles. And then we'll release the tailbone down, rolling up one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way to stand. Taking our feet a little bit wider than hip distance. And we'll start swaying our hips, drawing a horizontal figure 8, right and left. Drawing a figure 8 with our hips here. Letting your arms be loose. You can start twisting your shoulders side to side, just letting your hands clap around your body as your hips do the figure 8. And then we'll bring our hips to stillness, but keep this side to side shoulders and arm flaps going side to side. And then bringing that to stillness, our hands come forward into our mountain pose, just feeling your body here, filling yourself with breath, filling your chest, filling your ribs, filling your belly, exhaling from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. We'll step our feet out a little bit wider than our mat, heels turn in, toes turned outwards at 45 degrees. Bending our knees deeply, stepping a little bit wider to come into our goddess pose. Hands on the knees, shifting hips side to side. Trying to keep the feet grounded on the mat, shifting through the hips. Keeping the chest lifted, shoulder blades squeezed together. And we'll do a U shape, so lifting and lowering side to side with the hips. And then we'll release our hands from our shins. They come up to prayer at the heart center, keeping that hip U, lifting and lowering side to side. And then eventually straightening both legs, coming to like a wide-legged stance. Big breath, hands pushed into one another, elbows lifted, filling ourselves with breath. And we'll exhale, hinging at the hips, toes come forward, folding all the way down. We'll plant our left hand down, reach our right arm up to the sky, and we'll bend into our right knee. So bending, pulsing into the right knee as the right hand reaches up to the sky, pulsing here. And then we'll leave that right knee bent, grounding into the heel, tap it out on the heel. And then we'll come back to center, straighten our legs, grounding into our pinky toes, we'll shake side to side. So pinky toe sides grounding, hips are shaking, shake it out. We'll plant our right hand down this time, left hand reaches up to the sky, pulsing into the left knee. So bending, 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 and straightening into the left knee, bend straight, bend straight. And then we'll tap it out through that left heel. Keep it going, keep breathing, left hand reaches up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten through the legs, arms reach back, chest lifted, we'll sway it side to side. So shoulders lead as we go side to side with our upper body, keeping our back for real parallel to the ground this time, swaying it out side to side, and we'll shake it out through the shoulders. And fold it down, keep the shoulder shake going, and then lift it up all the way, keep the shoulder shake going. We'll hands on the hips, we'll put one knee at a time into center. So bending deeply into the right and then the left, knee drops into center. Keep it going. Turning whatever leg you're dipping into center all the way inward. Bending through both knees, squatting it out, side to side. And then we'll straighten both legs, little hops happening here. And bringing our feet together and then widening them apart. Keep the little hops going, bringing your feet together, and then hopping them apart. And then together, we'll keep our hops going, release our hands down to the side. We're gonna go forward and back, but side to side. So we'll jump our feet up to the right, back to the center, up to the left, back to center. We'll do it faster. So right, left. Keep it going. You're doing great. We want more freedom, and for me, freedom is movement. Jump it out, jump, jack it out. 5, 4, 3, you got it. 2, 1, leave it out and open, and circle out through those hips. Keep breathing. And then change direction with those hip circles. Hands can come to the hips. Catch your breath. And we'll push those hips back as we bend our knees deeply. Bent leg forward fold. Draw a figure eight with your fingers on the ground, swaying side to side in a deep goddess squat forward fold. Woo! Catch your breath. And we'll reach up for the top of our mat, stepping our feet. We'll come back into our plank, and we'll kick our own butt, hamstring curls here. So holding your plank, you can be on your forearms, probably can be on your knees too, but we're bending our heels to our butt, keeping our arms strong and active underneath of our shoulders, bending one heel at a time into our bum. Keep breathing. And then we'll jack it out, in. So two counts out, in. 2 out, 2 in, 2 out, 2 in. Bending those knees to the beat. 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, out, in, in. You can do one at a time too, if you want. Slow it down. Otherwise, we're coming back to our plank. We're lowering our knees. We're pointing our toes. And we're doing push-ups with the elbows close to the body. So bend, bend, straighten, straighten. 2 counts down, 2 counts up. Keep breathing. Keep it going. You can do it. You're so strong. We want more push-ups so we have less dropped stuff. Come on, one more. And then press it back, child's pose, tenting into the fingers, lifting through the wrists. You can widen out your knees, and we'll shift our chest side to side, drawing a nice figure eight with the heart here. Keep breathing. And then we'll look up between our hands, bring our knees back together, roll up one vertebrae at a time as we step forward with our right foot. We're pulsing, pressing our hips forward or down and forward. Little pulses here. Press, press. Tiny movements, getting into the full depth of your stretch here. And then we're going to interlace our fingers and interlace our thumbs, press our palms forward, twist our hands side to side. So from the front, our hands are pressed forward, and we're twisting side to side, moving in a circle with our hands. And then next time we're twisted over to the right, we're going to keep our hands moving in the right, moving in a big circle, and finishing down from the left. So twisting our hands to fingertips to the right, moving all the way over to the right, bringing our arms back, big stretch, and exhaling, reaching our fingertips over to the left, back to center. And one last time, twist the hands, move them to the right, pause at the back bend, twist your hands to the left, over to the left. We'll reach our hands down on opposite sides of our feet, press our hips back, coming into half split, little pulses here. Push it back and down. If full split is for you, go ahead, stretch into full split, and we'll just pulse down towards our knee with our chest. Otherwise, pulsing here, pulling that hamstring. Good stretching. Beautiful. And then we're going to transfer our weight forward, bring our hands down inside of our foot, widen our stance, bringing that right foot out to the right side of the mat, flipping those left toes, straightening the left leg, and we'll lower and lift through that left hip. So that left hip is dropping into center and then lifting back to its normal position. And then we'll lift that hip and hold it high, bringing our hands to our hips. We lift our chest and we'll circle out through that right hip. Keep those circles going. Keep it going. And then we'll fold our body forward, bringing our hands forward. We'll inhale, open up cactus, reaching back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, open up, reach back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, open up, reach back, bending into that left leg. We'll step it forward and step the right back, lowering onto the right knee, pointing through the right toes. We'll press our hips down and forward. Hands can be on the knee or down at the ground. Little pulses here, tiny, tiny, tiny. We're getting a nice stretch to the front of that right leg. Breathing here. And then we'll interlace our thumbs, press them forward, keeping our hips still. We'll turn our fingers to the left, circle way over to the left, pausing at the back for a big inhale, twisting the fingers over to the right. We'll exhale, circle them around back to front. Twisting the fingers like our circles, side to side. And we'll tip our fingers over to the left, do a big circle with the arms, pausing at the back. Exhale over to the front. And again, big circle around to the back and around to the front. One more time, we'll circle around to the back and circle back to the front. Move that steering wheel side to side. So we're twisting our our hands side to side like we're turning a wheel. Thumbs are interlaced. And then we'll release our hands down on the inside of our thigh, or inside of our leg, bending through the elbows, little push-ups here. And then we'll bring the left hand on the outside of the left foot, transfer our hips back, coming into that half split, little pulses here. Again, you can pull yourself to full split. If that's in your practice, it's definitely a goal of mine. Today's not that day. So I'm here in half split and I'm pulsing my chest towards my knee as I pull my toes up towards my shin. Big stretch to the back of the legs. Leg, singular, just one. And then we'll transfer our weight back forward, flipping those right toes, straightening through the right leg, hands on the inside. And we'll tip that right hip down and up, down and up, down and up. When I say up, we're just bringing it back into its normal position. So we're twisting slightly with just the lower part of the pelvis, little hip in and out, down and up. And we're planting our hands in a space where we can press up into our lunge, hands to the hips, lifting here, little pulses here. Breathe it out. And we'll exhale, arms go forward, belly folded over the thigh. We'll inhale, pull it back, cactus arms. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, pull it back, arms reach wide, elbows bent. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back. Hands on the hips, circle it out through the left hip. So left hip, drawing a circle. Keep breathing. And then hands come down on either side of the foot. Slide the left foot back to meet the right, coming to our plank. Elbows turned inward, or inner elbows turned inwards to face one another, and then turn forward. So our elbows turn inward to face one another, and then we turn them forward, getting an external rotation of the arms here, so that when we bend our elbows, we're bending them in line with our shoulders. So we're still in our plank. You can lower your knees, point your toes, keep your back nice and straight. Little push-up pulses here at the top. Grip the mat with your fingers. Keep the weight off your wrist by pressing into the top of your hand. Little pulses. We'll flip our toes. Downward dog, shake it out. So jiggling out through your jiggly bits by grounding down through your heels. Get the shaking happening. And then we'll plant down through our heels, bringing them to stillness. Tailbone turned up to see the sky. Chest pulled back towards the knees. Elbows, or those are my shoulders, pulled up or down the spine, away from the ears. We're going to plant into our left foot and lift in through our right. We'll bend our right knee, big circles here. Keeping our hips square to the ground, though, as we draw circles with our knee. And then when we're ready, we'll open that right hip to the side and little pulses back with the right leg. So kicking it backwards, looking underneath the left armpit at the right foot as it kicks back. And we'll bring that right knee back to center. And then through center, we'll step our right foot out to the left side, Opening up onto the left foot, right hand grounded into the mat, left hand comes up to the sky or to the hip. We lift and lower through our hips here. So strong, you've got this. Keep it going, lifting and lowering. Woo. And then our left hand comes back to meet our mat. Right leg goes up, three-legged dog. We'll kick our right leg up, jumping with our left, little kicks. And then we'll bring that right knee into the chest, lower it down, shin across the mat, coming into pigeon. So sliding that left knee back, fingertips tented wide of the mat, and we'll get the seaweed spine thing happening. So lowering the belly, lowering the ribs, lowering the chest, lowering the nose, lifting through the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. Your gaze is the last thing to lift, and then lower down, elbows bent wide. Thinking seaweed or kelp with your spine. We're just going with the flow. Our right ankle is flexed. We're getting a nice stretch through the right hip as we lift and lower. Keep your breath going. You're doing great. Lifting and lowering, and then finally lowering yourself all the way down, stacking your fists, putting your forehead on your fist, or lowering all the way down to a pigeon. You're welcome to bend into that left knee also, if you're looking for a little bit more. You can also walk your hands up and hold your left foot with your left hand, coming more into a mermaid. Otherwise, just breathing here in your pigeon. Sigh it out, fill yourself with breath, and exhale it out. And then wherever we are, we'll slowly press ourselves back up, flip our toes, release that right leg, comes back, hips go high, downward facing dog. We'll inhale, lift that left leg up, little pulses here, straight leg pulsing upward. And then bending into that left knee, keeping your hips parallel to the floor, we'll draw a big circle with that left knee. So outward or inward, doesn't really matter. Kind of choose your own adventure with the knee circles. And then we'll press that left hip and open it up to the left side. Left foot pulses behind us, so looking under that right armpit, at that left leg, pushing backwards. And then we'll bring that left knee underneath, stepping the left foot underneath over to the right side, opening up the right foot, reaching the right arm up to the sky, little pulses through the hips here. Hand can be on the hip or up to the sky, little pulses, lifting and lowering. Keep going, you're so strong, you've got this. We want more rest, so we need more movement so we can do less later. Keep it going, right arm comes down, left leg goes all the way up, and then we'll look up between our hands, bend that left knee, bring it forward, lay it across the mat, flexing into that left ankle. We'll lower that right knee down, point the right toes, tenting the fingertips, lifting up high, staying in your high pigeon here, catching your breath. And then this time, instead of the kelp thing, we're going to do circles. So bending the elbows, right elbow, lower, shimmy over to the left, straighten up. So from the front, we're here in our pigeon, and we're doing circles with our torso. Keep breathing. And change direction. Let's even things up. How about one on this side? So circle it around, keep it going, keep circling. Fingertips are tented. And then slowly making your way down into your full pigeon. Or stay up, bend your right knee, reach your right arm back. Coming into a king pigeon, I think. It's king pigeon over mermaid. Whatever it is, it feels good. If it feels good, do it. If it doesn't, stay with the pigeon pose down at the ground. Breathing here, so filling your chest, filling your ribs, filling your belly, exhaling from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. We'll inhale, fill the chest, fill the ribs, fill the belly, making sure you're breathing into your back, expanding it outwards as you breathe, and then exhaling from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. 3 more breaths in this way, filling yourself up and emptying yourself out. 2 more. Last one, big breath. Nice and slowly pressing yourself back up, sitting onto your left hip, bringing your right knee towards your left foot, right foot bending back to the right hip, sitting up nice and tall in this shin box position. We're breathing here. And we're going to bring our hands to heart center. We're going to lift up onto our knees, stretch our hips forward, and lower back down. And again, we'll sit up and lower down. And again, we'll sit up and we'll lower down. Left hand comes beside the left hip. We'll reach the right hand to the right hip as our knees lift up off of the mat, leaving our feet where they are. We'll shift our legs over to the other side. So if I'm this way, we were here. We're lifting our knees, keeping our feet where they are, and then lowering our knees down to shin box on the other side. So lifting the hips, lowering down, 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 hands come back, shift those knees side to side. So we're almost like a windshield wiper, but our feet are staying right where they are. We're shifting our knees side to side. You can also do this with your hands up in the air for some even more mobility. Shifting our knees side to side, keeping our feet where they are. Hands can be behind the back, resting on the ground. 2, give yourself a little bit more space. And then we're going to take our right leg, step it out long in front, taking our left ankle, crossing it over our right, sitting up nice and tall. Reach underneath your butt and move those fleshy bits out of the way, pulling them back so your sit bones can stay grounded. We're going to open up as much space as we can between the pubic bone and the belly button and the solar plexus. So staying really lifted here. You can use your left hand to press your left knee open. Otherwise, we're just staying here. You're welcome to give yourself a little foot massage with your right hand, squeezing into the arch. I like to use the heel of my hand, get it really into the arch, squeezing it out. We're sitting up nice and tall. All we're doing is breathing here. So massaging out that left foot. We can even take our fingers and interlace them between our toes. I know I've had students before say, I don't want to touch my feet. And if you're that person, then don't do it. Just do it. Massage out your calf. But otherwise, I double dog dare you to get down and dirty with your own foot. It's great. So interlacing fingers with the toes will draw some S's. Stretching out through those toes, remembering to sit up nice and tall, remembering to breathe, filling the chest, filling the ribs, filling the belly. Some S's happening with the fingers to stretch out the toes, and then we'll press them back. Pull them forward, press them back, pull them forward, making sure your ankle has room aside from your knee. Draw a big circle with your ankle here, keeping your fingers interlaced in your toes, rolling out those ankles, sitting up nice and tall. Remember, stay breathing. You've got this. We want more mobility so we have less pain. And change direction here. Play with what feels good. Explore. Explore your ankle. Explore your feet. We've got tons of bones in our feet. There is a number. I don't know what it is offhand. We can Google it. but there's lots. There's probably like 30 something. I'm really good at remembering numbers. No, I'm not. But either way, we've got all these little bones in our feet, and we need to move them so that our feet don't get stiff and lead to immobility in the future. How mobile we are up through our legs depends on our mobility of our feet, so let's keep them mobile. And then we're going to release our fingers from our toes, give our hands a little shake, hold on with our left hand on the pinky toe side of our left foot, open our left leg up, straighten it as much as you can. Our right arm comes out, we'll inhale, open our foot and our arm, we'll exhale, hand comes to foot. So inhale, open wide, exhale, hand to foot, inhale, open wide, exhale, hand to foot, inhale, open wide. We'll exhale, hand to foot, releasing our hands from our foot, hold it there, and slowly lower it down. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll inhale, both hands come up. Exhale, hinging at the hips, forward fold, reaching hands to toes. Inhale, pulling the chest through, opening through the chest, squeezing those shoulder blades. Exhale, fold forward. And then we'll inhale, sit up nice and tall, bringing our right leg with us. We'll cross our right ankle over our left knee, press our right hand into our right knee, sitting up nice and tall, moving with our breath. Filling our chest, filling our ribs, filling our belly, exhaling from our belly, from our ribs, and from our chest. We'll take our left hand, massage out our left foot with the heel of the hand there, or your calf if you're not into touching your own foot. It's okay, maybe one day. And then we'll take our hand, interlace our fingers between our toes. Sometimes it takes a little coaxing to get them there, that's okay. And then we'll start doing some circles with our ankles as we do this S movement in our toes. We're almost there. You're doing so good. So S movements with the toes here, and then we'll flex and extend, open and close, extending and bending, warming up all those bones in our feet. Oh, my brain. It's hilarious sometimes. So back and forward. And then rolling out those ankle, that ankle, those ankles for all of you. Together, we are a multitude of ankles rolling. But by myself, this is one ankle. But we're rolling it out anyway. It feels good, do it. If it doesn't, don't do it. So wiggling out through those toes, remembering the mobility of our knees and our hips starts at our feet. So keep your feet nimble and mobile and able to move and respond to the environment that they're stepping on and walking through. Decrease your chance of falling by increasing your mobility. So our right hand comes to the outside of our pinky toe side of our foot, and then we open up our right leg to the side. Our left hand goes opposite, open with an inhale. Exhale, fold forward, hand to foot in the air. Inhale, open. Exhale, hand to foot. Inhale, open. One last time, we'll exhale, hand comes to the foot. We'll release our hands, lower our foot down. Hands come, palms up to the ceiling, reaching forward, lifting the chest. We'll stare down our belly button as we slowly lower ourselves back. Lowering one vertebrae at a time to the mat, finding the center of your mat, back of the head rests on the mat, shoulders tucked under. We'll pull our knees into our chest, gentle rock side to side, massaging out those upper glutes. And then we'll release our feet down nice and close to our bum as our arms go wide. Take a deep breath. Lift your hips up and over to 1 inch to the left as you lower your knees to the right. Nice twist to close off our practice today. And then we'll inhale, bring those knees back up to center, lifting the hips as high as we can. Squeezing the thighs together. Gentle little pulses here, squeezing through the glutes, lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. And then we'll lower down one vertebrae at a time as we shimmy our hips over to the right 1 inch and drop our knees over to the left. Final twist, big breath. Exhaling fully. And then we'll inhale, bring our knees back up, lift our hips, lower one vertebrae at a time, and step both feet out long, where we settle in for our final resting Shavasana. So go ahead, take up space here. Arms can be wide or tucked into the body. Legs can be wide. Taking 5 on-purpose breaths to relax your body. So we'll inhale to the count of 4, 2, 3, 4, and we'll exhale to the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, we'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, we'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll do that one last time. So 5 more breaths. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, we'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time, big conscious breath. We'll inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Eyes closed, body relaxed, breathing normally. Let yourself be held by the earth, supported by the ground, letting your body take in what it needs to take in as it needs it, and letting your body let go of what it needs to let go. Letting your mind become the observer of your thoughts, noticing them as they come and watching them as they go. Let yourself rest. and slowly begin to reintroduce movement into your body. First, by thinking about your movement, decide what you want to wiggle first. And wiggle it. Maybe it's your fingers and your toes. Maybe you rock your eyes side to side behind your closed lids. Maybe you curl your lips into a gentle smile, finishing off your practice from a place of joy and contentment. And slowly begin to bring yourself into a great stretch. Awakening again for maybe the third time today, but for sure for the second. And slowly begin to explore movement on your back here. Isolating the movements of your hands and your feet. Maybe drawing circles with your hands and your feet in the air. You can get all four limbs going here. Maybe we draw into outward circles. Maybe we go one way, or one arm one way and one arm the other way. But just play with movement here. Maybe feet come together as arms go apart, and then hands come together as feet go apart. We're slowly going to work our way into these Becker movements, pressing our backs into the mat. Maybe extending left leg, left arm as the left leg, right arm as the left hand grabs the right knee, and then switching. So playing with these movements, making them bigger and bigger and bigger. Like you're a bug on the ground, moving your legs and your arms around. And when you're ready, rolling onto your right side, pausing here for just a moment before pressing yourself back up to a seated position at the top of your mat, getting those fleshy bits out of the way. We'll inhale, open up our arms wide to the side as the crown of our head extends long to the sky. And as we exhale, we'll cross our arms over our body, giving ourselves a big hug. We'll inhale, lift our elbows up towards the sky, and we'll exhale, fold our elbows down towards our belly button, tiny little pulses here. Pausing for gratitude for yourself, for your body. And then we'll inhale, open wide. And we'll exhale, cross opposite arm over the other as we give ourselves a hug on the other side. We'll inhale, elbows up to the sky. Exhale, elbows down towards the belly button, pausing here. Thinking of something that you thought you needed and you actually ended up needing something completely different. You thought you needed rest, but you actually needed to move in a way that sparked joy in your heart. You thought you were hungry, but you were actually really thirsty. Just getting in tune with your body and listening to what it actually needs without any band-aids, without any quick fixes. We'll inhale, open our arms wide to the side. We'll inhale our arms up to the sky as we gaze up between our hands, pausing here, where we exude gratitude for our planet, for our clean air, for our clean water. And we'll exhale, pull our prayer hands down to our third eye at the center of our forehead, where we always remember to think thoughts of gratitude. We'll fill ourselves with breath and exhale, bring our hands down to the center of our voice at our lips and our throat, where we always remember to speak grateful words. And all together, one last time in our practice today, we'll fill ourselves with breath and exhale, bring our hands down to heart center, where we always remember to act from a place of gratitude. Thank you so much for rolling out your mat or finding a space to practice with me today in our wild flow practice. As always, it has been an honor, and I see you. Remember, every little thing you think that you need, I'll bet you'll do fine without it. Namaste.